Let's get straight to the point. When you clicked on this video, you expected me to tell you that you are not lazy, and then give you some productivity tactics and something like this. But my mother taught me that it's important to tell the truth, and the truth is, you are lazy. In fact, I am too, just like every single human on earth. So just try not to be lazy is pointless, because laziness is a natural desire of your brain. Your brain is always trying to conserve energy. So when you do not need to improve your life, your brain doesn't give it to you, because why would it? What you need to do instead, if you want to have the energy to do something, is you need to create the situations that naturally will make you want to be productive. But what you need to understand first is that compared to a caveman, you live like a king. You're not freezing, you're not dying from heat because you have an AC at home. You have hot water to wash yourself, unlimited food, unlimited sleep, and unlimited pornography. When you live in such conditions, your lizard brain thinks that you're at the top of the world, that you're literally the king, so it doesn't give you the energy to change the situation. Because according to your brain, are you crazy for wanting to change something that good? You have more than your caveman ancestors could dream of, so there is no need to change. Again, it's according to your lizard brain. So in order to break out of this complacent state and become hungry for change, you need to create specific conditions. There is actually a formula that will help you to understand what you need to do. First, you need to feel bad enough about your current situation. And second, you need to believe that it is possible to improve. And you need to understand which part of the formula you're lacking. Most people are lacking both. They do feel quite comfortable in their life, so their lizard brain doesn't want to change the situation. And they also don't really see exactly how they can improve it. Now, what can you do about this? You don't have to literally go and ruin your life in order to feel that the situation is bad enough. You just need to go and create certain conditions that would force you to be less comfortable in your life than you would want to. Some examples of these conditions are something like turning off hot water in your house, sleeping on hard surfaces, or not eating sugar, doing hard exercises, and most importantly to not fap, of course. Because reproduction, from your lizard brain standpoint, is the best thing that you can do. Because you see, from biological standpoint, the lack of oxygen is the worst thing that can happen to you, because it leads to death very quickly. And reproduction is the best thing that can happen. It's anti-death. It leads to eternal life through your descendants. Basically, you will be living forever through your genes. That's why it feels so good. Now, the most important part is that you must not force yourself to be uncomfortable. You must create conditions under which it's impossible to live comfortably. Because if you will constantly force yourself to do all this stuff, it will be a huge load on your mental energy. And that's not very good long term. So what you need to do is to create conditions. For instance, if you wanna take cold showers, you can just turn off hot water in your whole house. Or if you want to sleep on hard surfaces, just make it so that you physically can't sleep on your bed. If you want to stop eating sugar, then make it physically impossible to do so. That's the easiest and mentally safest path to remove something comfortable from your life. That is because, let's say you want to stop eating sugar. There are two parts of your brain that will be fighting against each other. The first part is neocortex. That's where everything that makes you human is. It will give a signal to the rest of the brain that you must not eat sugar. But there's also the lizard brain, the monkey brain, the brain that doesn't understand our modern science. And it will be constantly pushing you to do stuff you don't want to do. For instance, to eat sugar, to sleep on the comfortable bed, to be lazy, because that's the function of this part of the brain. It needs to conserve energy. Now, after you created these conditions, it's important to see how hard work will lead you to something good. That's the second part of the equation. That something is what I call DSF. DSF are the most important things according to your lizard brain. It stands for dominance, sex, and food. Those are the things that your lizard brain always wants. It always wants to be socially dominant. It is always striving for reproduction, and it is always striving for food. You always need to remind yourself how exactly your work will give you more DSF. It's actually very easy to do. In our modern world, money correlates to DSF a lot, so if you have a lot of money, you will probably have a lot of DSF. That's pretty straightforward. So let's repeat the equation. You create a slightly uncomfortable environment. Then you come up with a goal for yourself. And then you connect this goal to getting more DSF. Only at that point, you will start getting the energy to achieve this goal from your brain. However, there's one more thing that we need to add to this equation. This thing is called social rank. If you have a low social rank, then your brain will not give you energy no matter what you do. It will be absolutely pointless to make yourself uncomfortable. Because even if you will make yourself uncomfortable enough, your brain will block all attempts to actually improve something. The reason why it works like that is because it is a protective mechanism. Because let's actually understand what high rank and low rank means. High rank means I want something, and I take it. I want something, it means I have a right to do this. Low rank means I want something, but I wait till others allow me to do this. There is an example I like to give about why the brain blocks improvement for people with low rank. Imagine a group of monkeys, and there is a small monkey and a big monkey, and the small monkey is trying to steal bananas from a very strong monkey. What will happen to it? What do you think? It will either get seriously hurt or killed. So it is a protective mechanism of your brain that was actually useful in prehistoric times. But nowadays, nobody will do anything to you because you want to improve your life. Nobody will attack you for trying to do something good for yourself. That's why right now this mechanism is useless. Though you know what? It is not always useless nowadays. For instance, it is useful when you're at gunpoint. When you're at gunpoint and people are trying to rob you, it's actually not very wise to act all cool, you know? The most correct option in that situation is probably just give them all they want, to not get killed. That's why it's still not completely useless today, but mostly, when you actually want to improve your life, it is pretty useless. So anyway, how to raise your rank? And you know what? I'll tell you in the next video. Like, sub, notifications, I see you in the next one, and remember, discipline is freedom.